Hello and welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I had my first time recording where I wasn't recording. I thought I was recording. Whoops! So I'm going to do a sort of roundup of the things I bought in the last month. I was only going to get one deck and then, whoops, got more than one. But the one I meant to get, like that was on the agenda, is the Gothic Tarot by Joseph Vargo. The little white book is just a very plain, boring, nothing very exciting to see there. But the artwork is quite fun. So I got this because we're doing Goth Lit November. Well, that's a readathon by Rachel at Second Thoughts About the Mission and Bailey at the Bailey Grind, and they're lovely. And so this is the second year running where they've done this readathon. And so of course I had to participate. Because I love Gothic fiction. And this deck was a lot of fun. And I think I got it secondhand, but it makes me think that I think he's American. Because it seems like a very American idea of British or European Gothic. Like it doesn't seem like European Gothic. It seems like the American idea of European Gothic. Very much like Poe. It seems like a Poe deck to me. So I'm okay with that. But like, yes please. So this has been a lot of fun. And I've been pairing some decks and books in the last week or so, but I'll talk about that in my Goth Lit November reading wrap up. Words. Okay, so that was the deck I meant to get. The decks I didn't mean to get. I was on the Discord server for Thea, Garden Goddess Tarot, her Patreon, her channel members, or I can't remember, I think it's channel members. Anyway, she has Discord. It's lovely. We were talking about wishlist decks, and I'd mentioned the Sacred Bee, and then she asked if I wanted to buy it from her because she had it and was going to sell it. So yes, I did. She sent this other card, the Star, which I'm not sure which deck this is from, but I feel like it might be the Muses, that Chris Hand deck, only because of the back, I think. I don't know. I might be making that up. Anyway, they're very pretty and really well made. Like they're good quality decks. They are, however, not wintry decks, so I won't be using them right away, but I will pull them out again in the spring when the bees come back. They're all hibernating for now. Well, died off or hibernating. The queens are, anyway, it's very pretty. This one is quite thothy, as I understand it, and also has elements of sacred geometry. I don't know what that is. So I may or may not ignore it and just go with the visual elements on the deck, but it's very bright and colorful. The edges are this teal gilding, and the back is got this cool pressed foil. I don't know what things are called, but it's pretty and I like it. And I've been going on a lot of pollinator walks in the summer, trying to get to know my local native plants and their pollinators, and so I had to get this one. It's the bee. I know there are a couple of bee tarots out there, but it's the one that appealed to me the most. This one is the Sacred Wisdom of the Sacred Bee Oracle. It's got, whoops, can I? No, probably not. There we go. The lighting today is kind of okay, but kind of not okay. I don't know. It's not really cooperative. Anyway, it's very colorful and very pretty. I love it. I love it. Like, this is my ideal color scheme. This purple, pink, orange, this here. Yep, big fan of that. Yeah, so I'm not going to use this deck right away as I put the cards back to front, but I will in the spring, and I'm sure I will love it. So that got as well. And then the last one I got was from a used bookstore. This is the Green Man Tree Oracle, Ancient Wisdom from the Greenwood by John Matthews and Will Worthington. I don't know anything about Will Worthington. I know John and Caitlin Matthews kind of do the Pan-Celtic thing. That was never a thing. That's not a real thing. So I don't know that I'll pay much attention to the guidebook. Because I don't think anything Pan-Celtic is a particularly reliable source of information. I did get a book on the Ogham that was recommended by Laura O'Brien. And if I do anything else in the way of the Ogham, there are 2 books she recommended. I might get another one. And then I might take one of her Irish Pagan School courses. Because I tend to think she's a more culturally specific and reliable source of information about the Ogham. She's actually like properly studied it in its cultural context and is not doing this sort of weird English reimagining of what it might have been. Because yeah, Pan-Celticism, if that's a word, was not a thing. That was never a thing. But I got these cards because they were secondhand, so they were cheap. And I like the illustrations of the trees, and I'm a tree person. I don't know if the Ogham associations on here are correct. I won't know that until I actually read this other Ogham book. I know not every letter actually has a legit historical tree association. Some of those are very modern, like people made them up. I mean, I realize everything is kind of made up, but some of the words were like, one of them was sulfur. So that's not a tree, you know. So some of it is a bit nonsense, but I'm going to read the book and then find out if I will have a use for these cards. And if I don't, I'll probably just take them back to the used bookstore that I got them from. Because you can sell books back to them. It's great. Okay, books. I got from the Little Free Library, Strange Planet by Nathan M. Pyle. He's on Instagram, and I quite like his cartoons. They're adorable. This one, somebody went a bit bananas with the marker and wrote Free Library with this funny little symbol, solar symbol, I don't know, all over the place. And then there are crayon drawings, like more crayon, more somebody, I don't know. And then they wrote it in the back here as well. Calgary Free Library 2023. Don't know what that's about, but we'll see if I like it. Then I got Making a Mess. Petals on the Wind by V.C. Andrews. This is the sequel to Flowers in the Attic, which I haven't read yet. So I don't know if I'll keep this. If I don't, I'll just take it back to the Little Free Library. Free Little Library? Little Free. I never remember. Anyway, I got the first book, I think also from the Little Free Library, and then reserved the audiobook from my actual library, but it hasn't come in yet, so I don't know if I'll like it yet. But if I do, I've got the second one in case I want to read it. Then I got Blood Feast, the complete short stories of Malika Mustadraff, because I think I heard about this because it's from the Feminist Press, and I'd read another collection of short stories from one of their authors earlier this year, but I cannot for the life of me remember which one at this point. But apparently she is a feminist icon in contemporary Moroccan literature, celebrated for her stark interrogation of gender and sexuality in North Africa. Cool. And I do love reading books from the Middle East and North Africa. And I've just this year started reading more short stories, so this seemed like something I would like. And then this one is entirely Rachel's fault. Second Thoughts About the Mission. This is the collected poems of Dylan Thomas from 1934 to 52. It's a very pretty Wordsworth Press cover. I like it a lot. And I read his Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. I've seen that poem around, of course, a lot for years because it's very well known, but I hadn't read his other poems. And she was raving about it, and I thought, well, okay, I guess that then I should probably at least find out more about what his other poetry is like. And I mean, I really do love Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. It's you know, a classic now for a reason. It's a good one. And I don't know, there's not a good reason that I've never read his other poems. I just haven't. There's a whole lot of stuff on my TBR. This one is Bailey's Fault. So this was in the Free Little Library as well. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but I'd read The Bell Jar in university, and it was okay for me. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. Like, I wasn't crazy about it. But she's been reading a lot of Sylvia Plath lately in her, I think, her journals and all sorts. So I thought, maybe this is a sign that I should give it another try. So maybe I will. So anyway, I've got that now. This is Glass, Irony, and God by Anne Carson. So I was reading the guidebook for The Literary Witches. Just sort of stalled. I'm reading now. I'll get back to that eventually. And I can't remember if Anne Carson was one of the Literary Witches or was one of the recommended books. I can't remember. Anyway, she somehow was in there. And so I read the Glass essay just online and really loved it. And thought I should read a few of her other poems. So these are her poems. They're quite long poems. And this book has some issues. The pages are all, quarters are sticking together. Looks like they maybe got wet or something. Oh well. Doesn't seem to be an unsolvable problem, but I'll deal with that later. And then I got The Sound of Thunder and Other Stories by Ray Bradbury. So I had read Fahrenheit 451. And twice, I think, 2 or 3 times, and haven't read anything else by him. Why? I don't know. But I was watching somebody on YouTube, I cannot remember at this point, sorry, raving about the quality of his short stories. So I thought, I'll give it a go, and I really like this cover. And then, because I am a geek, I got Alberta Plant Names, a guide to their meaning, a guide to their pronunciation, meaning, and English alternatives. So I'd gotten a couple other books by Linda Kershaw, and a key for Alberta plants, and then a book of maps. Because did I mention I'm a geek? Okay, so this has a section for pronunciation. So it has the scientific name, the English Latin pronunciation, the reconstructed Latin pronunciation, excuse me. I probably won't get into that because I'm not sure I can handle it, but I'll at least know the English Latin pronunciation. And then the root source and the root meanings, which is kind of what I wanted. I mean, the pronunciation is great, but if I mispronounce it, well, that's not a national crisis. But I wanted to know what their Latin names meant for all these plants that I'm learning about. And then the second section is alphabetical scientific names with common names and a couple of abbreviations of common names. I don't know what that means. Anyway, mostly I got it for the pronunciation and the meanings. So those are the books I got this month. Okay, then I got, in like the miscellaneous category, a couple of puzzles. One of them is this Frida Kahlo one. Oh, that's shiny. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it's just an image of Frida and a bunch of flowers. I don't know who made this collage. It doesn't say on the box. I don't think, but it's pretty and I like it. And then I got this books. It's just bookshelves with teapots and teacups and cats and flowers, and like the only thing it's missing is tarot, and I'm set. So that I got. And then I got some candles. So I've never ordered from Shy Wolf candles before, but I think they're in Ontario somewhere. It says Seek Light, Find Soul. They're very pretty candles. I got, however, oh, they also have incense, I think. I got the, oh, I can't get this open, tea lights. So it's just, I realize I don't need to show you what a tea light looks like. That's silly. It's a collection of 9 tea lights in each of these, so I got 2 of them. One is Fresh and Outdoorsy. So these are all the sort of mint. One of them is Thunderstruck. Mint grass fields after rain. the Fool is Sweetgrass, Dew, and Gardenia. So they're all outdoorsy sort of scents. The Emperor is Redwood, Cypress, and Oak Moss. Rockaway Beach is Ocean Spray, Driftwood, and Orchid, things like that. And then this one is Autumn Aesthetic. So their most popular one, I think, is Death, which is a black wax, which is fallen leaves, sandalwood, and teakwood. But it just has a bunch of other. So there are lots with apple, nutmeg, cloves, tonka, smoked woods, embers, more amber. There's a coffee one, which is not my favorite, more sandalwood. So things in that vein. I haven't tried them yet because I was finishing up a couple other candles and can't deal with too many things at the same time. So I will try them this week. In one of the things I got, I can't remember what, somebody included an obsidian mahogany little, that's so not going to show up on the camera today. Lighting is not cooperating today. And then the last thing is I went to, I can't remember what it's called, night market, an indigenous night market. So one of the, it's like it's not really a, I guess it's sort of a food court. It's a fancy pants food court sort of thing called the District because, you know, originality. But they have fancy fast-ish food restaurants in there, and then I think it's all like Microsoft and Google and stuff in the towers above it. So, but in their like open area along the sides, one of which was a bit cramped and the lighting wasn't very good, they had a night market. And the vendors were pretty cool. They were all indigenous, crafty sort of people. And so there were a lot of scarves and jewelry and those sorts of things. So one of the things I got was this, just a hair. This is one of those hair stick things, because it is a flower and it is purple and it is beautiful, and it's got these little things on the end that are like, there's a star on one of them. It's just so pretty. But I forgot to get the name of that vendor. This one is from Tawny Designs. This is Antler Carvings by Bob Davis. So this is part of a moose antler carved into the shape of a feather on this leather sort of strap with a little adjustable thing. And yeah, they're beautiful. I love them. So that was November. November's done. That's weird. I do realize that it gets a little ridiculous to keep saying, wow, the month went by so fast. But wow, do they ever go by so fast? I have no idea what happened. Work was ridiculous. So I haven't recorded anything in I think about 3 weeks, because this month has been nuts. And work is absolute madness at the moment. And I was tired. So I just didn't have the energy to record things. So things did not get recorded. However, this weekend I'm also going to do, I think, my reading wrap up for Gothland November, and then my tarot wrap up. I think this is the plan. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.